Hi, you explained very clearly that the Creator has the originating MSO on the earth. Through your observations, is there a way that we can, say a person purchased about 40 acres of land, paid someone to survey it, is there a way to erase everyone between you and the Creator regarding that piece of land?
Well, actually, there kind of is and there kind of isn't. There's a lot to it, but there is actually a way to sue the rem or sue the thing. And in fact, that's how this current system gained its jurisdiction. They would actually survey a section of land and then they would sue the survey. And they'd have a guy on a horseback, he'd run out and he'd throw some papers on the ground and he'd yell, "You've been served." And if none of the indigenous people showed up to answer the lawsuit, they'd win by default, and that's how they actually gained title to the land. And we learned this from a missile base where I was looking at the title holders on the missile base on the title insurance policy, and it showed the last two owners. And going back, one owner was the United States of America before the Air Force, and it showed how the United States of America gained title to the land. It was a lawsuit. It was the United States of America versus 1,300 acres of land. So I immediately went to the National Archives and told them, "Hey, I need full copies of this." And when they realized what I was up to, they said, "Well, that's going to be $1 a page. It'll be $15,000. So kind of when they get scared and back up like that, it tells you you're really on to something. The simple truth is this, and I think what you're getting at is the idea of land patent and maybe owning an interest in a survey without having to pay that rent to the king. The simple truth is this, the best way to engage in commerce is never have to fight or argue. So don't worry about how much it is that the king is demanding in the form of rent. Just know that you can use your private credit instead of public.
Okay.
I may have missed something here, but if there's a process for asserting your relationship with the original Creator, what in general terms is that process?
The process is to eliminate all paganism. And when a power, authority, man with a gun, badge, whatever comes up to you and thinks that you're just another pagan, tell him, "I'm not pagan. Your pagan idol on your chest doesn't impress me. Pagan idol around your waist doesn't impress me. I serve only my Creator and no other, and I'm not pagan. Go out there and find the pagans and beat them stupid and take from them what you want."
Now, do I correctly understand that pagan means non-Christian?
Pagan is anything that comes between you and your Creator.
Okay. Does the cop on the street understand that if you say it that way?
You know what's really wild is the truth isn't just written on your heart, although the heart is actually really cool, how it interacts with the magnetic field of the earth and how it interacts with everything else. But the truth is actually written within the DNA. And so instinctively, every molecule of your being knows the truth, and so does theirs.
Well, I think the problem I'm having is the practical application of it. I understand the theory, and sure it makes sense, but I know that if I'm out on the street, and even though I know the truth, he doesn't. The other guy doesn't, and as I've read many times in my past readings, the cops themselves have said that the law is at the end of the baton.
Well, it's a very interesting comment, and my response to that is this. What exists around us is a hologram. And the leading physicists today, observing the smallest particles in the biggest particle collider, are saying the same thing. What they're saying is that the only way they could be observing these particles doing what they're doing is if it is a hologram, if it is not real. And so the way this hologram works is it follows the guidance and rules and program of the programmer. And since we're all co-programmers, it actually does what you tell it to do. So if you expect the officer to not grasp truth and to pull out his baton and explain to you the new rules of commerce at the end of his baton, you're actually going to get what you expect. But if, on the other hand, you overwhelm them with love and expect him to grasp real truth, that's what you'll get too. And in fact, what I've noticed is that over the last 5 years or so, I've had the most unbelievable protection because, of course, I don't have any of those contracts. And over the last 5 years, that includes 3 traffic stops in which I was not even asked for ID. And it's a really tough question to answer because there's that fine line I don't want to cross, and interfering with commerce, and I'm not giving anybody else advice and saying cancel your driver's license or travel without a driver's license or any of that other stuff. In fact, what I showed you is that if you don't hold the MSO for the vehicle, you have to pay the license, insurance, and registration.
What is the origin of this MSO? Manufacturer's Statement of Origin?
In order to understand the origin of MSO manufacturer statement of origin, read Admiralty, which is in the handout, because this system of commerce, this waters of commerce, has to drag the real substance into the fictional world of commerce, and it's done through MSO's manufacturer statement of origins. And I didn't create this incredible, crazy, world of waters and Admiralty and commerce, but through observation, we can see how it works, and it is based all on title, and the primary title is the MSO.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, I hope this doesn't sound stupid, but...
Not yet.
How do you get a car MSO?
The simple answer is that you can make one yourself, and right now that's the only way. Before 1991, before they changed the laws because of myself and others like me, who were getting MSOs and being essentially immune from the motor vehicle code, you can no longer get an MSO from a dealership. They're not even there. All they have is MCOs, Manufacturer Certificate of Origin. So their King has all these cool vehicles and motorcycles and trucks and everything, and they're not even offering you the MSO.
Question number 2. How do you get a house?
Houses is different. There are ways to get houses. You can use your private credit to engage in commerce, but unfortunately I can't cover that in great detail here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Gold chain round your neck, nothing to me. Diamonds in your teeth, nothing to me. You could be rolling 22s, nothing to me. You're listening down with the truth, that's something to me. Know thyself, seek and ye shall find. I tell you this now, it's in no African mind. Searching, diamonds, gold, silver, platinum, them the kind of things, illusions you fathom. Yeah, they call it magic, right, you're right, it's tragic. I know, clever what they done, fantastic. Come against me now, you end up in a straitjacket. I'll prove you illiterate, one question, the language. Now who's the pickle in the sandwich? This kind of knowledge that you're hearing will damage you, destroy you. Don't worry, I'll employ you, get you back on track, so you can defend your own attack. Gold chain round your neck, nothing to me. Diamonds in your teeth, nothing to me. You could be rolling 22s.